Hey everybody, it's Gil from the Sailing Vessel Dream Chaser, but this week I'm down on the Las Vegas Strip. More about that in a few minutes. In last week's episode, we took you back to Sailing Vessel Dream Chaser and rode out a bit of a tropical depression right there in the marina to show you what that's like in high force winds. We also went to a small Halloween celebration in the town we're from, and also took the small boat out so I could practice some of my captaining skills and get a little bit better. If you didn't see that episode and you run a mobile or tablet device to watch these videos, I'll put a link for it right in this upper right-hand corner here. If you use some other kind of device, a PC or even your TV, I'll put a link in the description down below. This week, in a few moments, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing here in Las Vegas and take you around to see the sights and sounds of that particular area. We're also going to spend a little bit of time showing the proper way to clean a pool filtration system. And I think this is going to be valuable for anybody that's cleaning any kind of a paper pleated, sediment-based filtering system. That could be for a pool, it could be for a water filtration system in your home, or a well water filtration system. All of them use the same technology, and we'll show you how you go about cleaning those and cleaning them properly. We also take a little ride down to Ponce de Leon Park with McKinley on the west coast of Florida, and we have a bit of a sushi rolling party with some of our friends. I hope you enjoy this week's episode.
So this is all new to me now. We have this place with a pool. I've never had a pool in my life before. We've had a tough time with algae and everything else. Deb's been doing most of the chemical stuff, but they gave us some yellow algae killer and a certain dosage of chlorine to do yesterday, and then 24 hours later to do some more. And then they said in 24 hours, make sure you rinse the filters out real good. So I'm about to go out and turn the pool off, pull the filter out, rinse it out real good, basically trying to get any of the algae that got pulled into the filter cleaned out of it so it's out of the system. So let's go on outside and we will do just that. I do like having this garage door right on the outside of the house. It's pretty darn convenient. And I'm finally getting used to how some of this stuff works. So if you think about a filter, they have an input and output side. On the input side, there are the pool drains and the skimmer controlled by a valve. That water goes into the pump, up into the filter housing, which is a large canister. From that, it comes out of that to a chlorine dispenser, and then ultimately it's distributed to the outputs, either the circulation output at the top of the pool or the 3 different fountains that go into the pool. First thing I'm going to have to do is come over here and turn off the pool pump. That's my start. Next thing we're going to do is release some of the pressure. And what I'll notice is start seeing the pressure come down over here. This valve right here is letting air come in. And you can see right there, we're now getting bubbles coming in, which means the pressure's dissipating.
Once the air bubbles show down in the motor housing, I know that the pressure has since been relieved. So on ours we have a safety valve. You have to lift up on the 2 ear tabs and twist the ring off. And from there you're able to just lift the cover directly off of it. I wiggle it back and forth just a little bit because there's an O-ring seating there, and we want to make sure that that doesn't rip that O-ring. It shouldn't be dry. It usually isn't a problem. Now here you see me struggling with this a little bit. I actually didn't take this off the right way. What I should have done was just grab the outer edge of the filter and use my thumbs to push down on that centerpiece, but I actually pulled the centerpiece out too. It just kind of twist locks back in there, so it wasn't a huge deal, but I did have to go ahead and put it back in. And now it's just a matter of bringing it to a location where you're going to go ahead and hose it out. I have this good little spot right here, right off the little patio. There's a small cinder block square for stepping stones, and it works perfect for setting it right on there and keeping it out of the dirt, and still giving myself a good place and footing to, keep from getting dirty as I do the work. You can see I just take the hose on sort of a jet stream, and I go back and forth, and you can see the color changing in the filter. You'll notice here I also will, after I do that one time, I'll go back and I'll put my fingers in between and sort of spread apart the paper pleats or the material pleats, and work up and down with the hose. I don't know if you can see on the ground right around it, but you can see all the sand that's coming out of it. It's a shockingly large amount of sand that ends up coming out of these. Once it's hosed off, it takes up 3-4 minutes, something like that. You bring it back over to the actual pool housing filter case. You pop it right back on. It only goes on one way, by the way. And now it's just a matter of putting the lid on. You'll notice I'm not twisting this or anything else. I push straight down because I want to make sure that that O-ring I mentioned earlier seats well right between the actual base and the lid itself. And once the lid's back on there and you've kind of pressed it down tightly, you put the ring on, and ours just does a half twist and then it locks in place. You can see I went back and forth there for a second because the first time I kind of twisted it, it didn't actually lock. Once you've done that, you know it's locked well. It's just a matter of turning the pump back on. I usually leave the valve on the top open until water starts to spurt out, and I close it again, and I open it back up and let the water squirt out. But basically what you're doing is you're taking all the air that's been in the system there that's trapped in that dome, and you're letting it all out of this, out of the filter housing itself. Now once it's done, it's all set.
On the end, there's not a whole lot to it. You just got to turn the pump off, release all the pressure from the system, unlock the locking ring, pull the cap off the filter, and then from there, it's really just a matter of, pulling that big cartridge filter out. Give me a second, let me just get inside here. Yeah, so you pull that cartridge filter out, and then it's just spraying it out. You could see all the, I don't know how well it showed up in the camera, but there's literally, pounds of sand coming out of it. It's shocking how much sand blows up and gets put down into the filter itself, into the pool.
It was now time for Swab and I to take our sort of standing bike ride date we end up doing, which is kind of fun. We've been actually riding the bikes to Starbucks sometimes too. What are we doing?
Going to the park.
Did we take a bike ride? Yeah. What is it?
It's the biggest mushroom.
What do you think of that? You ever seen a mushroom before?
Mm-hmm.
Never seen one growing, huh?
Yeah.
You want to try and pick one of the little ones? You almost stepped on one. See it right there?
Where?
Right by your feet. See the two brown circles, sweetie?
Oh, there?
Yeah.
This one.
Wow, is it heavy? Let me see.
It's not even heavy.
It's not? That didn't look so fun. Hey, so who is that explorer we saw over there? Do you remember his name? The French explorer? Are you petting him?
Oh, that's my best friend now.
Today I'm headed to Las Vegas. Well, my flight today actually went through DFW, so a nice little plane ride, a little bit crisp outside, so the air was nice and clear. It was kind of cool views out the plane window this time. After a quick layover at DFW, it was time to get airborne again and head to Vegas. Welcome to Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada.
We just arrived in Las Vegas after a layover at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. 4 days of business, but also fun tied to it too. So we'll see what all we can record while we're here. I know they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I don't intend on doing anything that I can't share. So Las Vegas starts to hit you before you even get out of the airport. This is baggage claim. You can see all the lights, slot machines. They definitely want you in the spirit when you make your way into the city, for sure, or at least onto the Strip.
Well, from the airport, we drove by the Luxor. You can see New York, New York. Drove by the Bellagio fountains. If you've never seen these, they're absolutely beautiful. I didn't get a chance to go back over and actually record the show, but it's a synchronized fountains to music type of event, and it is really pretty phenomenal. From there, we passed the backside of the Aria and the Videra on the right, and in the center, this whole thing's called City Center. In the center there, you can kind of see the Cosmopolitan Casino.
So before I headed out here to Vegas, we had a couple of friends over and we had a little bit of a roll your own party. What were you thinking? Rolls, California rolls, sushi. Anyway, part of this is, it's fun to have somebody come over for dinner, but it's a lot more fun if you can do one of these kind of meals where it's a social event where you're putting the food together as a group. So you can do this with sushi or California rolls, a lot like when you're doing a barbecue or raclette or old school fondue. But the idea is, everybody gets together, you prepare the food, you sort of cook or make it right there tableside. And the fun of that is doing all of that stuff with your friends. So I'll show you what this looked like. We put together a nice little spread. All of us got together and prepared all the material, and then we had a nice sushi dinner. I'll show you what it looks like, though we actually didn't film a lot of this. Deb and I will film a lot of the stuff that we do when we want to post it to a video. But frankly, we were spending time with our friends and we wanted to visit with them. We did, however, take a couple pictures of the setup before we actually started to destroy it as we put all that food together.
Our local market didn't end up having any really good sushi grade tuna, but they did have this tuna that was pretty good, so we seared it on each side, left it nice and rare in the middle. But you can see all the rest of the ingredients here. We had shrimp and rice and cucumbers and avocado and carrots. We had the fake crab. We used soy paper instead of seaweed, toasted sesame seeds, and even a crab shredded mix that Deb made. We have the rolling mats right there, and it's just a lot of fun to put these things together and do it as a group. Oh yeah, I forgot. We also had cream cheese. I'm not a big fan of cream cheese in my sushi, but I know some people like it. And then those little black plastic things are actually devices to help make sushi. It's a sushi press rather than a set of sushi rolls. And we had set the table and just had a nice Asian-style dinner. It was really nice and spent time with friends for a few hours.
Yep, it's been a good first day. Had a little meeting with all of our sort of referenceable customers, what we call our insiders. That was really cool. Had a nice reception with them. Then it was the opening dinner and ceremony, and then we took a couple of large customers out to a nice dinner. So I am walking back to my hotel. Our conference is in the Aria, but I'm staying over at the Badera, which is sort of a sister property to the Aria. It just doesn't have a casino, which frankly is nice. That means once you get over there, no gaming floors, no smoke smell. It's really nice.
It's 11:30 or so. I am back in my hotel room. Yep, I'm laying in bed. I'm about to go to sleep. I think tomorrow I will film the room just to kind of show you what it's like. If you've never been to a hotel room in Las Vegas, I know most people have, but if you haven't, it is really pretty cool. The rooms are decent size. There are a lot of amenities, big jacuzzi tubs and walk-in showers, etc. All the amenities. There's a little remote control over here that will control pretty much everything in the room, including raising the blackout curtains or raising the sunshades on the windows. I'm on the 24th floor, looks out here over the strip and whatnot, so I'll show all that tomorrow. But right now, I think I'm getting some shut-eye. I'm tired. That 4 a.m. call this morning when I had to hit to the airport was early, so I'm sleepy, especially given that now I'm on mountain time here in Las Vegas. Good night, y'all. I thought I'd show you the Vegas skyline early in the morning. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. I can never sleep when I come to Vegas the first morning. It's tough.
It was the morning of our big general session kickoff, and what was cool is we did this in the MGM Park Theater, which happens to be the same venue where Lady Gaga plays. But I was really impressed at the size of this year's event. I'm not sure exactly how many people we've had here. I know it's the largest event we've ever had. And then I took a real quick snippet of something our CEO often says.
People hear me say all the time that great businesses are powered by great people. Great businesses are powered by great people. We say it over and over again because we live it and we know we see its power firsthand.
So I'll tell you, it's been a really cool conference. It is the third day I'm here. Got in the first day, the conference started the second. This is the second day of the conference, but it's just been meetings all day. But it's great, getting to see your coworkers that you don't see very frequently. I think I mentioned that in the video a couple of weeks ago when I was in Orlando. It was pretty cool. But at this one, I not only get to see the employees, but we get to see all the customers. And, they're fun events. The first night they did a dinner at the Jewel nightclub. They basically rented out the whole nightclub at the Aria Hotel and Casino, which is really cool. And then tonight we actually are going to the Hard Rock cafe. We rented out the entire Hard Rock for all of our customers. Have a private concert from One Republic. So I'll see if I can get a little bit of footage of that, maybe. We'll see. I mean, I might just enjoy the concert, so I'm not sure how much I'll get, but it's great. It's a pretty intimate setting, you know, maybe, I don't know, it seats 4,000 or 5,000 people. And yeah, we get to go see, you know, a private concert. Last year was Kelly Clarkson, and the year before that was Train, so pretty cool events for sure. Anyway, yeah, good times. I am heading back to my room. I'm going to try and get a little bit of work done in the next hour or hour and a half, and you can kind of see that's the Aria right there behind me. But I'm heading over to this Fadera right across the way, and ready to get out of the suit jacket for a little while.
I went over to the Hard Rock, and they have all these pictures of people that performed, and we were getting ready to watch Ryan Tedder and One Republic play.
I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying the heck out of my time out here in Las Vegas. It's kind of surprising. I had no idea that Ryan Tedder from One Republic had done so many hit songs for other artists. He's written songs for Adele, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Timbaland. It was just pretty amazing. So they did some of those songs as well. But this video is getting a little bit long, so I think I'm going to end it right here while I continue to enjoy my time in Las Vegas. Next week, we'll pick up again in Vegas, finish the trip there. We'll finish out that One Republic concert because I have quite a bit of footage of that. And I thought I'd leave you with a really interesting quote. Keep in mind, this trip out to Las Vegas is our customer event. It's where our customers all come together to network with one another, learn about our tools and our products at work. It's called KronosWorks, but I thought this quote from Ryan Tedder was really good. I happened to be videoing during the show when he was doing this little talk, and I caught this. So I'll end the video with this quote, and yes, Ryan, by all means, I agree.
So I think it's safe to say it's good to work for Kronos.
See you guys next week on Friday.